may shout out, but here we are in game, excuse me, in the bottom left hand corner of Yunsu Ladder Edition, Imperative Gaming's AeiS. AeiS, there, yeah, AeiS. And in the top right corner from Ignotiq Gaming, the red Terran player, Nothingness. So, will AeiS be beaten by Nothingness? Will Apathy take him over and just he fall to the Nothingness, or will AeiS overcome, find his groove, and be able to take out Nothingness, claiming another game for Imperative Gaming? And will Ignotiq Gaming be able to take game number 2? We did see how easily the Terran did roll over the third player. It's just unfortunate. Like, that was a whole downhill situation. You made so many units to deal with 2 Reapers. You didn't have the workers to get the minerals. The queens weren't in the right spots. Missed transfusion could have held it all off too. And it was just one missed transfusion and it just kind of all shattered. All those Hellions got by and, well, totally destroyed the economy of Cold Logic. He tried everything he could to get back up, but it just couldn't happen. Not mathematically possible. AeiS, not necessarily going anything strange. Both players are going for a gateway and barracks. Reaper opening from Nothingness, quite standard these days. Protoss units are pretty slow until that Stalker gets out. We may see a 1-gate expand. We might see a Cyber before they expand. I'd rather see the Cyber before they expand. You really want to have that Stalker to deny that Reaper, so your initial tech choice is not exposed. But with this probe out and scouting, is he just a little scouting probe guy? Because the wall does get done way before your probe can get out there. Or is this going to be a little proxy guy? I think it's just a little silly scout that's pathing incredibly funny. Or I don't see a movement here. Little guy. Who knows? He might just throw down Stargate. No, looks like he's just going to scout. He's going to check to see if there will be an expansion. And I wonder what this little SCV is doing. I think he's looking for that Stargate. But unfortunately, he will not find a Stargate about, because the Cybernetic core is not even done quite yet. Still has about 25 seconds on. So, pro tip, about 4 minutes is when the Cyber core finishes. 350, 345 if you're doing an incredible job with your macro. Let's see here. Nothingness is just making a few Marines, nothing too horrible. And actually going for a factory instead of command center right off the bat. A factory, really interesting choice. Getting a couple of Hellions to drop in behind Mineral Line might do Widow Mine drop as well. Widow Mines did, I think, get a little bit of a buff against shields. That might be next patch. That might be test run. I keep reading these things. I can never keep them separate. I will look that up for everyone shortly while that loads. I kind of want to see what comes out of this factory. Is it going to be a Widow Mine? Is he going to drop a starport first? Oh, there's that starport. Will we see a Widow Mine? No, we're going to see a Hellion drop, not a Widow Mine drop. It's a really interesting choice. Now, AeiS has actually got a couple units out and about looking for a Reaper, but they will not find a Reaper because I guess the Reaper opening was a horrible call by me. Sorry, everyone. I failed. And, well, Nothingness is just going for a Marine Hellion drop. But AeiS does have full sight of the map. We'll be able to see anything coming right through the center. And Strapling's Nexus way before Nothingness. Nothingness might actually... This might put Nothingness in a really good favor for a little bit. This Toilet Council is coming out, so we will see either an early charge or more likely, like 90% more likely, Blink to deal with any kind of early drop shenanigans, as there is a medevac on the way. Should see these 2 Hellions get picked up, and the Marines who have just taken over this top left watchtower. And the scouts coming in is going to see this Nexus. Mothership core is out and is gathering energy, but doesn't actually have enough energy for a Nexus cannon just yet. A couple more gateways are coming down from AeiS. It's very good to have those. Being able to produce is quite important. Command center looks like it's just going to be thrown down for now for Nothingness. It's going to be really far behind. Nothingness is going to have to do some damage with this drop, and it's only got Marines in here. It doesn't even have any Hellions. Yeah, I figured the 2 Hellions would be a little bit more important than all these Marines in here, but we will see how much damage this does. Having this amount of units might be able to control the Zealots and might be able to snipe the Mothership Core. Oh, AeiS has actually pulled everything back. He probably expected Widow Mines, but to no avail. It will just be Marines, and he needs to use the Nexus Cannon to focus down the Mothership Core, the medevac. And oh, the Hellions for the back. Oh, that was a huge hit. Oh my god, that was awesome. That is 11 workers killed and more falling. 13 workers fallen now. And everything just kind of fell apart here. These Hellions came in from the back, and while both AeiS and I were distracted. Nothingness playing this really smart, killing all those workers. I mean, there's like no workers left. 16 workers killed. Units tab showing 17 workers, a 10 worker lead, and AeiS is going to have to use all of his Chrono Boost just to get his economy back in the game. His Chrono Boost he can't use on Blink, he can't use on upgrades, he can't use on getting observers out, he can't use on getting Colossus out or anything. He's going to be hurting everywhere. And once again, nameplate very helpful. Oh, Nothingness is very satisfied with his position, transferring, actually going a mech style against Protoss. Now, this is going to be a really interesting game. Mech style against Protoss is extremely, extremely strong until those Immortals start coming out. Once those Immortals and Archons start coming out, then with Charge Lot backup, there's just nothing that mech can really do. I mean, with Zealots, they still do a good amount of DPS. They still have a lot of hit points, and they can get in really ridiculous numbers. But without any basic upgrades for them, for the bio, I mean, it's just going to be nothing but siege tanks, Widow Mines, Hellions, and Thors. This is going to be a goodie game, guys. Oh boy, a goodie game. Oh boy. Oh, back at AeiS's base, we do see just gateway units and a couple observers sitting around. AeiS is really, really scared of those Widow Mines. You really can't blame them. Should be using one of these observers as like a spot somewhere to see where the drop is, or at least find this dropship. Looks like the dropship tried to come back in and do some damage. Looks like it only managed to get a couple more workers. So not too much terrible damage, but it's just compounding. And AeiS is just supply block now. He was floating a little bit of money. He's just deciding to drop 3 more gateways, 2 more pylons, but there's a 3rd pylon here. It looks like AeiS is going to try and use these Blink Stalkers to get up and try and kill some workers. This is something he has to absolutely do before these turrets come up. The engineering bay did just get finished, and the armory is coming down right now. But when these missile turrets get up, there won't be any spot for the observer to spot without being sniped out by the missile turrets. 3 missile turrets are on the way. And Nothingness looks like his favorite player of the day is Goody. He's going full on tank mode. Hellbats are incoming to be able to deal with any kind of charge lots. And with Infernal Pre-Igniter, it's going to make them just do so much more damage. And ooh, AeiS getting out of there with his observer, almost losing it in the process. But it does force Nothingness to readjust his army, so this front be as defended. But with Hellbats, I mean, there are only mostly Blink Stalkers out. Immortals are starting to come out right now. Let's see if AeiS can detect what kind of mech Nothingness is going for. Back at AeiS's base, we have +1 with the 2nd Forge coming down. I think he's kind of figured out it's about to be mech play, so he's going to need at least some Storms. He's going to need some Immortals. He's going to need a lot of Immortals to deal with a heavy amount of siege tanks being produced by Nothingness. And while the Hellbats don't exactly have the fastest attack rate, it will reduce their damage pretty heavily. Once again, they don't do extra damage until the Pre-Igniter is done researching, and Ravens are on the way. Once these Ravens get out, these Blink Stalkers are going to be pretty useless. Oh, dropping bottom here. This 3rd base being spotted, and well, we'll see if Nothingness can make this work. There's no army really at the main base besides, except in the very, very main. And ooh, more workers are going down. Blink Stalkers are here to help, and they will be able to clean up. Ooh, man, ooh, that Hellion really wanted that line of units, but it just didn't do it. Oh, the dropship gets picked off, and the 3rd base is still being slowly attacked by this one Marine. This other Marine could help, but he's like, you know what, man, I gotta take a leak. You can do all the work. I'm just gonna, whiz off the side of the cliff here. Sorry, guys. And he didn't even get to zip. Man, dying with your wang out. That sucks. Oh, back at Nothingness's base, we have a third CC being thrown down, along with a fourth that is just being created right now. Mech is full and going, and well, without a third base though, it's going to be hard to sustain. Once this army will fall, AeiS will have a very good opportunity to completely just run over Nothingness, as the production for Mech is really slow. We shouldn't see any Thors really coming out from Nothingness, as there's really no light units except for Hellions. That would be so, or not Hellions, Phoenix. That would be so annoying. But actually, I wonder how Phoenix would really work against this. I mean, the PDDs would be able to stop the fire, but they fire so fast. That's actually kind of interesting to think about. I mean, you can't really kill off the turrets. You can't cripple the economy. Pull the Widow Mines out of the ground if you're good enough. You can see it fast enough. You get the observer speed, but there are just turrets everywhere. Nothingness just showing that he's just like, Goody is my hero, and I'm going to play exactly like him. So everyone prepare for a potentially extremely long game. Looks like AeiS is moving out with his Blink Stalkers. Might try to poke around, scouting to see if a third base is done once these volleys do go off, or these Stalkers are just going to like walk in, two of them die, and those Hellbats are going to be like, ah, what happened? What was that? But sensor towers are down. Look at these sensor towers range, being able to see everything around, but just outside of this proxy pylon. And ooh, charge just finished. Storm is finishing right now. Immortals are coming out 2 at a time. Very smart from AeiS. Storm's going to be laid down on the Hellbats and mostly the siege tanks, just because they can't move, and that's just a free 80 damage right there. 2 storms will kill a siege tank if you allow them to go all the way through. Nothingness taking the sensor tower, just so he can get a little bit more vision. Like, sensor towers only show a little like danger icon on the ground. But both players do have a third base up and roaring. Units, they true AeiS having a lot of probes. Nothingness is hovering at 59 with, oh, there's 61 with 7 mules out, so the income tab will show that Nothingness does have more mineral income, but they are on about the same amount of gas, so that's about fair enough. Dark Shrine is coming down. We might see some Dark Templar attempts at backdooring, but with all these missile turrets that are lying just Nothingness's base, it's gonna be really hard to see. There's like a little like dead spot right here that might help, but with this fourth base starting to come out and land, if AeiS doesn't do any damage, man, he's gonna go for a max army versus max army, and well, these Widow Mines, they don't care about hardened shields, so if those get a couple good hits off, then it's gonna be bad news bears. Oh, looks like this proxy pylon coming in handy. So it's coming into the fourth base of Nothingness. We'll be able to be as annoying as possible. Nothingness is going to have to lift this off. The units are really slow. Hellbats don't exactly move the fastest in the world. About the same as a worker. And these Zealots, well, I was going to say it could have lit the orbital on fire, and maybe Nothingness wouldn't have paid attention for 500 seconds, but that fourth base looks like it's going to start being established right now. A huge immortal charge on army with storms available from AeiS. These immortals do not have a projectile. They will be able to override the PDDs, and this is almost exactly the composition you want. You don't necessarily want so many Blink Stalkers. You have enough to deal with any kind of medevacs that will be healing the Hellbats. The Hellbats will be extremely annoying, but there's a Hellbat drop. I haven't seen one of these in ages. A Hellbat drop coming into the fourth, and will they go after? No, they're not going after. And well, there's a Blink Stalker attack on the fourth over here. I can't do 2 things at once. Workers are dying. The main force is coming back, but AeiS looks like all of his army is on one hotkey, so it's really hard for him to control that. And another Hellbat drop coming into the main. But there are units here, there is a cannon, there are defenses, should be enough to hold off this drop. The drop was cleaned up, and well, the fourth base is coming under siege for Nothingness right now, and it looks like he wants to make this army do something. He does have the units to just get in there and just kill it as fast as possible, but he needs to attack right now. Like, most of Nothingness's army is spread out when defensive is natural, which I'm not sure why that is. He could wall this off, put up a turret or two, and just have his forces split between here and he's getting this base, so here. And right now, the AeiS sees this and he's going to use this to his advantage. He actually kills the base off. That's really good. AeiS needed that. That will put him a little bit of an advantage. Nothingness's production is not exactly going as planned. Not having that third base any earlier is showing up in his army tab. I mean, only has about 99 army supply, and the forces are moving out. These Blink Stalkers might actually be able to handle all this if they blink on top of the siege tanks, but it looks like they are going to play it safe and just blink away after securing this fourth base, making sure it does not get established just yet. Void Rays are out on the field. Void Rays also very good against this composition as long as they focus the siege tanks. Even if they hit the Hellions, I mean, they're still not going to take any damage except for Seeker missiles. DTs are on their way, but well, 4 DTs for 1 turret and 2 more getting replaced. I mean, oh man, there's the battle cruiser transition from the mech. Oh, with the upgrades both finishing or being combined with standard mech play, the starport units have become incredibly more popular. The bad thing about battle cruisers, especially against Protoss, is that's a free 200 damage unless you can get those Yamotos off. So there are a lot of High Templar out here. Upgrades are pretty even right now. We don't see 3 armor coming out from Nothingness or AeiS, but well, it looks like the siege tanks are going to get picked off, and this fourth base is going to get denied again. Looks like AeiS wants to end this right now. I'm not really sure what Nothingness can do. He's going to have to Yamato something. He just doesn't have like as much as he needs. There's not enough charge loss to justify the Hellbats, and these Immortals are just going to run over everything, and just feedbacks everywhere. These battle cruisers are going crazy. These Immortals are just destroying all the tanks, and here come all the SCVs to just come in, but they're not going to be able to do anything. These BCs are just getting ripped apart by the Void Rays and the Stalkers, and with more Void Rays coming in, it should be the end of this. Or not. I mean, these battle cruisers are pretty powerful. 2 of them are coming out at a time, or 3 of them, or 4. There are a lot coming out at a time. We are seeing a BC transition, but these Immortals trying to snipe another Nexus. This is a lot of damage. I mean, the army's kind of lost about the same, but it's just a lot of battle cruisers versus a few Immortals on the ground right now. And well, AeiS puts himself really a little bit far ahead. I mean, he knows the tech switch. He knows what's going on. He's just going to start messing Void Rays, and that's going to be it. Excuse me. But AeiS responding extremely well. Yeah, excuse me, I apologize. The only bad thing is AeiS does not have the ship upgrades. So the Void Ray Beam not going to be as powerful, but oh, looks like Nothingness is moving out. He wants to strike again. I'm not really sure if it's going to be the best option for Nothingness. I feel like he needs to reestablish his economy, but he wants to just go balls deep with these battle cruisers, man. There will be Widow Mines here. There's Void Rays out. The fleet beacon's on the way. Upgrades are coming out slowly, but this 5th base is going to fall for AeiS, and he knows it. Using his observers wisely, pick off those Widow Mines. Oh! Smart play. 1 Stalker does get picked off. And these battlecruisers actually overextending a little bit. They could have got picked off by a quick blink in and maybe an overcharged Void Ray, but looks like these Void Rays are going to hold off as long as possible. We may see... Okay, this battle is going to be determined by the amount of unit control AeiS and Nothingness is going to have. There's the feedbacks. It looks like Void Rays are focusing down the battlecruisers. They are not attacking Vikings. Vikings aren't even firing right now. This is poor unit control from Nothingness. He does manage to snipe off the observer, but... And now, I mean, all the battlecruisers are almost gone, and... Oh, the battlecruisers actually really did do their job pretty well. Now there's just Stalkers and a couple Archons trying to take out 2 battlecruisers. Battlecruisers, well, are in tank mode, but with so many Stalkers being able to be warped in, these battlecruisers are just going to fall. And it's just going to be Vikings and... Oh, he needs to focus on the weak one, and there it goes. Now it's just Vikings who are being just completely dominated by these 2 Immortals that have managed to live through all this. And these Stalkers are just going to clean all this up. Nothingness is pretty much dead. I mean, he has 3 bases. There was actually a warp in behind here too. Nothingness did have some units behind. I'm not actually sure where that came from. That was pretty slick. Probably over here. And, well, AeiS does want to check this, but these rocks are in the way. And, well, I mean, I'm not sure what Nothingness can do. I mean, it was a really good attempt, but he just didn't have the production. He didn't get the bases early enough. And the battlecruiser transition was something special, but he just couldn't strike hard enough and fast enough before the Void Rays came out to annihilate all of his battlecruisers. Oh, well, Nothingness only had about 27 supply. There are still battlecruisers coming out. There are still units being made. There's DTs in here. And this battlecruiser is doing everything he can. It's like a last stand battlecruiser. He's trying everything. Oh, and just like Nothingness's chances of winning the game, that ship goes down into the ground. And I'm not really sure what Nothingness is trying to prove right here. It looks like he's just doing a little bit of manner scans, and this GGing looks like Imperative Gaming will take game number 2.